What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Here to bring you an NFL trade prediction video on Tyreek Hill. If, and the key word is if here, guys, if he is actually traded, I believe the Green Bay Packers will trade for him this offseason or by next year's trade deadline. Let's get into why, guys. So, before we get into why the Packers, I will name some other potential landing spots as well. But let's talk about why he wants to leave the Dolphins and why he should as well. So I'm mad at myself. About a month ago, I had in my notes the Dolphins should blow it out. Should blow it up. I had the video, had the thumbnail, script, everything was ready to go. I just never made it because I've kind of talked about it over the last couple of years, so I didn't think it would kind of do well. But I've been on this for a while, man. No, I really am. And last year I hinted towards it. I did a video on the Dolphins potentially selecting Michael Penix and why they should draft him. I did a video just, I think, 3 to 4 days ago, 5 days ago, on the Dolphins maybe selecting Jackson Dart in the second or third round. They need to start over. They need a rebuild. Tua, I know you just paid him, but you can't rely on him. I know you just extended, or they just extended the head coach. He's not the greatest head coach to me. He's not that good. Don't love the scheme. Don't love his play calling at times. Jalen Waddle always banged up. It's a bunch of stuff going on, and it's not for lack of trying. They've built the team well, but Tua can't stay healthy. They brought in Ramsey. They brought in Bradley Chubb. They had the safe. They had the safety who's a free agent this year for Oregon a couple years ago. I forgot his name now, but they have some guys. They brought in guys. It just didn't pan out. But I think they should start over, and I think they will in a couple years. So I'm mad at myself for not doing that video, but I have mentioned in the last couple years, like I said, recently 4 or 5 days ago with the Jackson Dart video for having the Dolphins as a landing spot. But going on to Tyreek Hill comments after the game, I don't blame him for what he said. No, as a non-Dolphins fan, or people might get upset at how he said it, but you can tell if you watch it, he was kind of hearing it for himself the first time out loud. I'm sure he said it to himself, said it to his family, said it to his friends. But when the reporter asked him, he just kind of just let loose, and you can tell he was like, man, in his head, he was trying to guard himself from saying it, but he was like, F it, I'm already here. And I think the worst part about it, it might seem bad, but I know what he meant. In about 1,000 yards receiving, and he didn't reach it. He kind of didn't get that close. It's not about 1,000 yards, but it kind of is. And for me personally, as a non-numbers guy, if you're a top-notch wide receiver, the 1,000 yards is just a benchmark to show how effective that you are. And it seemed like a lot of games this year, Tyreek Hill wasn't effective. Now, like I said, as we all know, Tua missed some games, was banged up early in the season, late in the season. Then you had Tyler Huntley, who learned the playbook as the season had gone on. So Hill had a couple of good games here and there, but his impact wasn't felt. He kind of just doing cardio the entire year. So I'm on board with Tyreek Hill wanting to get out. I don't think, like I said, I haven't seen people say or say negative things about it, but I think it could be interpreted the way I listened to it, and when I heard it, I'm like, ooh, that don't sound great. As you can tell, he was kind of just going through it, and like, if I'm just gonna say how I feel. So we'll see if things change. That's why I said if he gets traded. But if he is traded, the Packers to me are the greatest spot for him. I've been saying for a while too on that end. I've been on Christian Watson's bumper, and from year one, I said I don't like the draft pick, talented player, but from year one, I said this in a video a couple years ago when he first got drafted. He's just too banged up for me. He's always him and Jalen Waddle, always those two guys so talented, supremely talented. They can be a low end receiver one, high end receiver twos. They just can't stay healthy. And Christian Watson again banged up. Wish the best for him. Hope he gets healthy. But man, he stays banged up. Even when he make plays, he gets up banged up, limping off. Same for Waddle. Those two guys always just banged up. So I think if you can get off, if you're the Packers, if you can get off of Watson's contract, which is easy to do, if they cut him or trade him, they have a dead cap of like 3 point something million. If they cut him, that's nothing to deal with. I think, if I'm not mistaken, from what I found, the Packers have around 60 million in cap space, 60 to 65 million. That's way enough room to trade for Hill's contract and make it work for them, because I know Matt LaFleur in the past and even during this year, he's kind of toned down or kind of quieted the rumors that the Packers need a true number one receiver, but they do. They have a bunch of good guys, and I love Romeo Dobbs. I think the world of Romeo Dobbs, but he's not a true number one. He's good. He's probably the best of the best. Even when Reed got on and got hot, I still thought Dobbs was definitely better. But at the same time, though, you need a true number one guy to lead that group. Now, Hill, number one guys are normally big body guys, as we all know. But Tyreek Hill is the outlier, which we know for the last couple of years. But I think if he does go to the Packers or not, as long as he gets traded somewhere, and I'm gonna name some teams off in a few minutes. But if he goes somewhere and they use him properly, we're gonna all remember Tyreek Hill, and people are gonna fear him again. I know teams have a respect for him still, but he's gonna put fear in their hearts if he goes to the right team. So I have a small little list of where he could go. Like I said, it's real early options, just brainstorming. But like I said, number one on my list is the Green Bay Packers. I think it's a great option. You have a quarterback similar to Pat Mahomes when he was younger, gunslinger, throws it deep. Got a super big, strong arm, and he connects with Watson really well. I think switching Watson out for Tyreek Hill makes a lot of sense. If not the Packers, the Commanders. Same with Jaden Daniels. He has a super great deep arm. Same like Love. And he can play on script. He can play off script, and he's a dynamic weapon at quarterback. I've said for since this year, but before the trade deadline, the Commanders need to pair Terry with another good receiver. I had a video on Brandon Ayuk, didn't pan out, but Ayuk wanted to go there before his extension with the Niners. Then he got hurt, so obviously that didn't happen. I did it when Devontae Adams wanted out from the Raiders. Didn't happen. He went to Green Bay. I mean, went to the Jets. Tyreek Hill to the Commanders makes sense. It really does. I currently have a video out. You can check it out on Garrett Wilson. If he's traded, goes to the Commanders. I think that's an awesome fit. So, like I said, I'm still on the same. I'm still on the same mindset. The command, especially with next year being Terry's last year on contract. I would love for them to bring in, especially a younger guy like a Garrett Wilson to pair with Terry. You still bring back Terry again for another a year or two, but that would be Garrett Wilson's team in my mind as the years go on. But Hill makes sense too. He's older, same age or around the same age as McLaren, but I would prefer them to go younger. But Hill makes sense too. It'll be super scary threat for Jaden Daniels. If not Packers, if not Commanders, I like the Ravens. Zay Flowers, emerging star. You have Bateman as well. After that, Aguilar, he's okay. Tez Walker, he's a rookie and unproven. If you add Tyreek Hill, oh my goodness, explosive MVP 3 for Lamar Jackson loading. Like if you don't win it this year, they'll be crazy. So him to Ravens makes sense. And the last team on my short list as of right now, LA Chargers. Pairing Justin Herbert with a true deep threat. You have Vlad McConkey underneath, and in the medium spot, Quinn Johnston as your physical deep threat. Might can bring back Palmer, might not, whatever. But you add in Tyreek Hill to that lineup, boy, oh boy, not bad at all. I don't know if the Chargers and Jim Harbaugh really care about a number one receiver right now. It's time for one. I think they should prefer a veteran over a young guy because they have two young guys already. They have Johnston and they have Lad McConkey. Do you need another youngster? So that's a big question mark there. You might want to bring in a veteran to go with them. So Devontae Adams could make sense if he gets released. Garrett Wilson makes sense. He's still younger, but he's a more veteran than those guys. Or you could bring in a trade for a guy like Tyreek Hill. So there's more options out there as well, especially some more Texans make sense. Stephon Diggs is gone. Brand pairing Hill with Collins, and they'll Tank Dale out probably next year too. A trio of John Mechie, Tyreek Hill, and Nico Collins is insane. So there's more teams out there to list to add on to it, but we'll figure it out as time goes on. And also we'll see if Hill even gets traded. If he wants to get traded, he could just be frustrated. So, but as I said before earlier in the video, I would like for them to blow it up, and the fans see it early. So if I'm calling for them to blow it up now, they'll probably start rebuilding or retooling probably in a year and a half, 2 years, in a year and a half, 2 years, maybe even 2.5 years. So for some reason, the NFL guys and sports guys see stuff late. But I'm on board for Tyreek Hill being traded. Make him great again, and by doing that, it will put fear in opposing defense's heart again. Now, I know that, like I said, I know they respect him still, obviously, but the fear isn't quite there. And once he gets back active with a good quarterback again and someone who's consistent, boy, it's gonna be fun again seeing Tyreek Hill go crazy. So him being acclimated to the cold weather in Green Bay, Wisconsin is normal. He was in Kansas City in the cold weather, winning chips and stuff like that, and playing late in the playoffs. So it's no problem him going to the cold weather again. I think it makes sense, but we'll see what happens, guys. That's it for the video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.